Y'all, we got a fun one for creative people here today. Today, I want to teach you how to design a solution to a natural resource conservation problem. It's a fun one. Get to be real creative today. I'm going to be real creative today, so be ready. That can go sideways sometimes. So, before we get to that, you've already learned practices for conserving lots of things. We've learned practices for conserving the air. Namely, we kind of split those into two categories. To reduce the amount of pollution and carbon dioxide into the air, we had a whole bunch of practices that were basically use less. That was things like turn lights off when you're not using them and keep your car properly maintained so it uses less gas and things like that. So we had a whole lot of strategies to just use less energy, which is using less fossil fuel. And then we also had another kind of set of strategies, which is to get some CO2 out of the air. So in addition to putting less in the air, we can also get some out. The main two ways to do that were more plants, because plants take in CO2 as part of their life process. They'll take it out of the air, which is great. And the ocean does that as well. It's really mostly the plants in the ocean, I believe. But if you keep the ocean, sort of clean and healthy, then it'll take some CO2 out of the air too. So we've learned some practices for conserving the air. We've also learned practices that already exist for conserving water. We talked about those in two ways. We talked about conserving the supply of water. So that is basically ways to waste less, use less. And then we talked about ways to conserve the quality of water, which was to pollute it less, ways to keep water clean, like not putting trash down toilets or down in gutters and things like that. So pollute less, and we talked about that too. So supply of water is important, so is the quality of the water, both important. And then yesterday we also talked about practices for conserving the soil. Most of those had to do with preventing erosion. Soil takes a long time to create, so making sure that soil stays where we want it, very important. We talked about things like planting trees because their roots will hold soil in place. And also trees will block wind, so reduce wind erosion. We talked about planting a crop even in the off season, called a cover crop, so that less of the soil goes away when it rains because the roots of that cover crop will hold it. We talked about things like that. So lots of ways to conserve air, water, and soil. So what about inventing new solutions? I've told you lots about solutions that already exist, things that we know to do and how to do, and we just need people to do more of them. You're also researching a lot of those in Ms. Johnson's class right now. But what about inventing new ones? Like, that's kind of the exciting thing to think about, is sort of like, what can we do that's like not happening yet? So today I want to teach you how to do that. Before I do, here's a solution that someone designed that I think is a pretty cool idea. Take a look at that and think about that for a moment. Go ahead and pause and think about what you do like and what you don't like about this idea for conserving natural resources. Pause when you're ready to go. So that idea, a solar-powered car, pretty smart, pretty cool. It combines two things that are important, and I'm going to talk a lot about today. It combines an existing solution, which is solar power. Solar power is not new. Solar power already exists, but it combines that existing solution with an existing problem, which is that cars emit a lot of CO2. So if you take an existing solution with an existing problem, put them together, you may have something pretty cool. Another thing to notice about this, I want you to notice also, this idea is not perfect, right? If you think about a solar-powered car, you get to thinking like, what if it was cloudy a bunch of days in a row? Like, sure, the solar panels can charge the battery, but what if it wasn't sunny for a lot of days in a row? Would that make this car useless until it was sunny? Or was it only run when it's sunny? Maybe it doesn't even have a battery and you can only drive it when it's sunny. It's not a perfect idea necessarily, but that's okay. Couple reasons why. One, it's a good idea, right? If I could make a car run on something other than fossil fuel, good idea. It's a step in the right direction. Maybe this wouldn't be perfect or work all the time, but it is a good idea, and it's a move forward. You could drive it on sunny days, or you could drive it when it had been sunny enough to charge the battery, or you could drive it if you lived in places that are usually sunny. It's a good step in the right direction. It's a good start. Good ideas do not have to be perfect. They do not have to be, have unlimited potential. They just have to be a good idea and be a step in the right direction. So with all that in mind, today I want to teach you how to design a new solution to a natural resource conservation problem. So the best new ideas for solving conservation problems, as I said a minute ago, have two features. One, they combine an existing idea, like a thing that already exists, with an existing problem. We're going to take something we've invented in one place and apply it to a new problem. That way you're not inventing something from scratch, which is cool too, but it's tough to do. And the other thing, like I said about solar-powered cars, they're a good start or a good first step. They don't have to be perfect, and they don't have to be problem-free. It's not a bad idea just because it's not a perfect idea. All solutions have to start somewhere. So here we go. I'm going to do one for you. I'm going to model an idea I have here. So a very common source of wasted electricity is that electronic devices that are plugged in but not turned on still use electricity. Whoa. That was one of my woes back when we did the day where you looked around the room at the ways to conserve energy. That was a biggie for me. I didn't know that like TVs that were plugged in, if they're off, are still using electricity, or phones like charging, even once they're fully charged, they're still using electricity. I didn't know that. It's a big source of wasted electricity. That was one of my woes. Design a possible solution to this issue. So I was thinking about it, and my creative brain an idea. Here's how it works. First, remember, I want to combine an existing idea with an existing problem. The existing problem's there, right? With our electronic devices are still using electricity even when they're not on or even when we're not using them. And it's going to be a good first step. It may not be perfect. You guys, I know, like technically me, this is not the time to technically people. This is a creative time. So I'm going to combine an existing idea with this problem. Been thinking about it. I was like, what thing that exists in the world could help solve that problem? And I thought of it. Toasters. Wait, what? Yeah, toasters. I want you to think about this. I want to apply toaster technology to this problem. That phone still uses electricity even once it's fully charged. If you plug it in and you leave it plugged in, it's going to still use electricity even after it's fully charged. So I had this idea. What if phone chargers could have toaster technology, right? When you use a toaster like this, I don't even have one, but I've used one before. Use a toaster like this, you press this button down and it runs on a timer. And when like enough energy has been applied to the toast, enough heat to toast it, it just ends it. It just pushes the toast out. So I was thinking, what if then use that same technology, your phone charger, and as soon as your phone had been charging for a certain amount of time, or once your phone hit full, it just pushed the charger out like a piece of toast. We already have this technology. It's an existing idea. What if we could invent a way to apply it to a new problem? Pretty good, right? Oops, that's the end, sorry. So like here, I have an idea for a cell phone charger that automatically disconnects when the phone is done charging, so no additional electricity is wasted. Much like a toaster works on a timer and it pushes out the toast when time is up, we could design a cell phone charger that works on a timer and pushes itself out of the phone once a certain time is reached or once the phone is fully charged. Right? I can hear you applauding. I know I'm not in the room right now, but I can hear you doing that applause thing like when I have a good idea. Right? It's an idea. It's not perfect, but it could be a cool start. Only works for cell phones for the time being, but maybe that could be applied to other things. I think it's a great idea. Let's do one together. Here's another existing problem that we talked about. One of the main ways water gets polluted is that people flush trash down the toilet instead of throwing it away. Ugh. People put gum down toilets. People who smoke cigarettes often put parts of cigarettes down the toilet. People just throw trash, Kleenex, paper towels. Like they just throw stuff in a toilet instead of throwing it away. I don't know why they do that, but it is definitely an existing problem. It pollutes water, which makes the quality of water worse. It also wastes energy because in cleaning and getting that stuff out and cleaning the water again to use it again uses a lot of electricity, a lot of energy, a lot of pollution. Big problem. So what do we do about it? I want us to try to combine some existing idea in the world with this problem of trash going down toilets. How could we fix it? Pause here. Come up with an idea. I'll share mine in a minute. Yours is going to be better than mine on this one. My toaster idea for the phone was super cool. This one is it's also super cool. What am I talking about? Unpause when you're ready. I would love to hear your idea. I wish I was there to hear it. And we would share all of our ideas at the floor together, and it would be great. Since I'm not, all I can do is share mine to give you an idea. Here's my idea. The existing idea we already have. I don't know if you ever used a toilet that have like 2 different buttons on them, right? They can like flush differently. I think the ones that exist now, the 2 buttons are like one flushes a little bit of water and one flushes a lot of water, depending on what's in the toilet. You pick the one that uses the amount of water you need it to use, let's just say. So I had this idea. What if instead we use that same idea, that same technology of like, okay, the toilet can flush 2 different ways, but since people seem like they're just going to throw trash down the toilet anyway, what if that button, instead of being amount of water, you got to pick when you flushed, did I put trash in the toilet or did I put no trash in the toilet? And you could tell the toilet which one you did. If you said you didn't put trash in, then the water just goes down into the sewer like it always does, no problem. But if you put like, oh, I put trash in there, even though you shouldn't do that, and even though that's bad, if the toilet could know, say, okay, there's trash in there, we're going to run it through a second line, like a different pipe that maybe has like a filter in it to catch the trash, and it can send the trash to some sort of like different place than the water goes. I shouldn't put it through there because it would catch it before, right? And then maybe, this can be collected or pushed out to like a waste site or something like that. And then the trash and the water go to a different place. Again, existing idea. I didn't make up the 2-button toilet. I just applied it to an existing problem a little differently. So that, my friends, is how I like to think about good ways to design new solutions for conservation problems. I'm going to give you a you do together and then a you do alone and a bit after that. And I hope this is helpful. Once you have your idea or my idea in your notes, you may pick. You're ready to go on to you do together.